I know we are feeling down right now because that loss last night was a heartbreak. But like always, stay tuned for the intro and we'll be right back.
Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger. I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's okay. It's okay. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat. Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger. I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. It's a bet. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat.
Good morning, Yankees universe. What's up? I'm trying to come with all the positive energy, but after last night, TC, I don't know what to think about this team. They get us hyped with a 5-game winning streak, and then we have that blow up and that clunker last night. But guys, you have tuned in to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. Like always, I'm your guy Hector, joined by my co-host, Mr. TC Stills. TC Stills, talk me off the ledge, my guy.
Yeah, it's a depressing loss, but you know what? Just being here talking with you, Hector, and introductions and all the music that gets us hyped in the morning.
Yeah,
Hey, it takes away the pain. It's just a little blip on the radar, just a little
that's
bump
it.
in the road. I'm not panicking. It was just
Yes,
it happens. It
yeah.
happens. But we
You
got all
can't.
our fans here. We got the chats blowing up. You're
Yes.
here. Celso's backstage. It's all good.
Yes, and like you said, you can't go through a baseball season and go 162-0. It's never happened before. So you're going to have some losses in the middle of a baseball season that hurt more than others. And last night loss definitely hurt more than some of the losses we've had this season. But before we jump into the conversation, let's do a little bit of the roll call. We
Yeah.
got our friend Mr. Jacob Petruzzi
Jacob.
in the building. Our friend Jonathan is in the building.
What's up, Jonathan?
Emmanuel Morales is in the building. Ayo Manny, salute, 3 capital S's. Silk Buckets, it's in the building. L.I. Yankee
Ooh,
King, the
Li.
king of all the Yankee trolls, are in the building. Our friend Anthony Medina.
Medina. Yes, sir.
Oh, my brother Medina. I can't wait for us to meet up again, Medina. It was amazing the first time. I can't wait to rock out with you the second time. Who else we got in the building? Of course, we got Jigga Man Porto in the
Jacob.
building. What it do? Dawn Sicario is in the building. Hey, yo, Dawn, I see that Joe Kelly trade is starting to grow on you, my guy. It's starting to grow. Now I'm seeing other Yankee content creators talking about Joe Kelly. It's kind of like we talk it into existence. TC, you and I, we
Yeah.
talked about it the other show, and now
Yeah.
everybody has him as their target. Mr.
That's right.
KC Fun Time is
Yeah.
in the building. Salute, 3 capital S's, everybody. Alan Landsman is in the building. If you guys can, please smack that like button for the boys as we continue this conversation. Welcome. Good morning. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. My man Don Sicario said, word. I ain't want Roberts. I want Roberts
Yeah.
along with him. If we
That'd
could
be
get
good.
Luis Roberts, I would try to make that trade. I don't think the White Sox will be trying to give up on one of their young well, I should have said young prospects because he's not a prospect anymore, but one of their young players on their roster. Hell, they got rumors that Tim Anderson,
Mm,
he's unhappy in Chicago. Is Tim
yeah.
Anderson an option here for the Yankees? Do we flip
Ooh.
Gleyber Torres to get Tim Anderson? The way Gleyber Torres
Uh,
has been hitting lately, I'm not sure if we would make that trade. Gleyber Torres, he's
yeah.
borderline 270. The power is there. He does have to pick it up when it comes to his hustle. His defense has been a little bit shaky, but when it comes down to it, I think I've been happy with Gleyber so far this year. What about you, TC?
Yeah. I mean, last night with the 2 home runs and yeah, he's definitely picked it up with the bat.
Mm-hmm.
He's heating up, but there's those brain farts that he has on the bases and
Yes.
some of the defensive gaffes he makes, the pulling, double plays and just being the lackadaisical play out there. it just oh man, it just annoys me so much. But yeah, his bat is it's going to be hard to get rid of him because of his bat. I mean, because honestly, he's
Mhm.
probably our third best hitter behind Rizzo and Judge. So
Yeah, no, definitely, definitely. When you look at, Jonathan brought up Kendall Graveman in the chat.
mhm.
Kendall Graveman, he's a solid reliever. I think he's pitching with the White Sox this year. Let me just double check. Yeah, he's pitching with the White Sox this season. So far, he has a 3.10 ERA. He's pitched 20 innings. When it comes to home runs, he's only allowed 3 home runs. He has 9 walks so far, 20 strikeouts. Listen, however we can upgrade this bullpen, you gotta upgrade this bullpen. You saw it last night. Jimmy Cordero has been phenomenal for us this season. But when you are overworked, when you are overused, when you're being brought into situations with runners on the base and you're not familiar with those situations, this is what happened. We need a guy to come out of that bullpen we can rely on in this type of situation. And I've seen so many people on Yankees Twitter talking about why wasn't Michael King in the game. Listen,
Mm.
I don't fault Aaron Boone not having Michael King in last night's game. We are in May. If this was September, it'll be a different
Yeah,
story.
right.
In May, he pitched 2 innings the night prior. Michael King is still coming back from blowing up his elbow last
Hmm.
season. So you don't want to risk any injuries when it comes to Michael King.
No.
In May, you don't want to extend him like people wanted to extend him last night. If we were in September or October, that's a different conversation. What's your thoughts on that, TC?
No, exactly. Exactly right. We can't blow up Michael King early in May. There's no way. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like you said, if this was later in the season, definitely he'd be in the ball game. But Jimmy
Mm-hmm.
Cordero has been solid.
Yes.
This was a rare bad outing for him. You could see he didn't
Mm-hmm.
have command. He was behind the hitters, and the Orioles have good contact hitters. They're not
Mm-hmm.
they're not a bad team.
They
They're
aren't
not Oakland.
slouches.
Yeah, they're
Yep.
not. So they made contact, and everything they hit fell in. I mean, they got
Mm-hmm.
some breaks, some bloopers, and it just worked out that way. But I would have done the same thing as Boone. Jimmy Cordero was fresh.
Yep.
They were coming off a couple games where he hadn't pitched, and
Mm-hmm.
King, Marinaccio, and Peralta pitched the previous game.
Yeah.
We're just overusing the bullpen because our starters can only go 5 innings,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a problem. I think Michael Kay brought up the Yankees have used their bullpen 23 innings, I think, over the last 5 games, which is
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to make it with
No,
that kind of stat.
you
No.
you can't try to overuse your bullpen. And yesterday was the perfect example. If Garrett Cole only pitched 5 innings a day prior, so he
Yeah.
put more tax on that
Put
bullpen.
them in a bad
If
spot.
we
Yeah.
have our guys performing how we know they're supposed to perform, Luis Severino didn't even get out of the 5th inning the last time he was
But we
out there,
we knew
right?
that. We knew that was going
No,
to
we
happen.
we we
Yeah.
knew that, but when you
Yeah.
have a consistent you could say a 5-day stretch because
Hmm.
starters on a 5-man rotation. So
Right.
a 5-day stretch of your starting pitchers not making it into the 7th inning
Hmm.
last night, it's going to happen more often than not.
Yeah.
And like you said, Jimmy Cordero, he has been reliable for us. We're not going to bash Jimmy Cordero because he had
Mm-mm.
one bad outing. He has
No.
been lights out and he has been solid for us this season. That's just one of the moments that he's going to have a clunker, and he had the clunker at the wrong time.
Yeah. No. I mean, that's exactly what happened. You got to kind of brush off those type of games
Mm-hmm.
because seeing a team score 8 runs in an inning on us, I mean, it just doesn't happen every game.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. Everything went right, everything fell in. It, you're not going to see that again,
Mm-hmm.
probably all year. So I'm not worried about it. I think we'll bounce back tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Um, our bullpen is, we still can go, and get King and Peralta and Marinaccio and Holmes. We still have
Yes.
guys that are fresh tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Schmidt, again, here's another guy that probably will only go 4 to 5 innings. So we're
Mm-hmm.
going to have to use the bullpen once again. So it's it's not looking good with this
No,
the usage. And
no, and personally, me, if I was Aaron Boone, we're talking about situational bullpen managing. as good as Jimmy Cordero has been for us, I wouldn't have gone to Jimmy Cordero. I would have gone to Wandy. I would have brought in Wandy in that situation. Wandy has been one of our
Wow.
most reliable relievers, especially in situations like that. This is a game against the Orioles, a team that we are battling for second place for in our division. If this was the Oakland Athletics, I'm bringing in Jimmy Cordero. If this was the Los Angeles Angels, I'm bringing in Jimmy Cordero. The Cleveland Guardians, I'm bringing in Jimmy Cordero. But if this is Baltimore, if this is Tampa Bay, I'm bringing in Wandy Peralta in that seventh inning to get out of that situation, because those are the games we have to win for our division. We don't have many of these games with the Baltimore Orioles. We don't have many games against Tampa Bay. The next time we see Tampa Bay is at the end of August, September, if I'm not mistaken. I think end of July, beginning of August. It's the next time we see Tampa Bay. So during these games, you have to try to win these games when you have. We got our guy, Mr. Blue Gold, is in the building. He said the Orioles with the Yankees bullpen last. That's what I'm talking about. He said, let's go. Orioles, listen, Blue Gold. I love it. I love it. Trust me, I love it. But just know one thing. You better have that same energy tomorrow morning when the Yankees pull out a victory tonight. But I appreciate my guy Blue Gold being in the building. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's to you, my guy. Hope all is well. But let's segue into the first conversation. As well, we got some few people that joined us in the chat. If you guys can, please smack that like button. We have 22 people in the building. Blue Gold, you know it's all love, baby. You know it's all love, my guy. We got 22 people in the building right now. If you guys can, please smack that like button. We are at 14 likes. Let's get up to 20. Let's get up to 30, and let's get up to 40. But
and only 10 away from 600 for subscribers.
We are 10 subscribers away from 600. If you guys are watching this and if you aren't subscribed, please smack that subscribe button. We started this secondary channel in February, at the end of February, beginning of March. So from March till now, being close to 600 subscribers, that's not a bad thing. I got to be honest. That's not a bad thing. But let's segue into the first conversation, because we got to talk about him. We brought him up. Nestor Cortes. I know he had a silent outing the last time he was out against the Toronto Blue Jays, but we saw it in that game. His stamina went away from him, and he admitted that he didn't have his legs underneath him. He lost gas in that seventh inning. And the same thing happened last night against Baltimore. I'm not putting the blame for this loss on Aaron Boone or Nestor Cortes as a whole. But if I was Aaron Boone, I would have never allowed Nestor Cortes to start that seventh inning, especially after he admitted that he was out of gas in the last outing. You got to let him build himself up. And I think that's why Nestor Cortes struggles against the lineup the third time through, because he doesn't have his legs. He's losing his stamina. What's your thoughts on that, TC?
Yeah, but you're going to also have the fans out there that say Boone, pulled him too early because he had I think 78, 80 pitches in the sixth inning.
I think he had like 60, if I'm not 66 pitches or something like that by the time
really
he started
low.
the seventh.
Yeah, so
76.
If he didn't come out, everyone would be like, "Oh, Boone pulled him. Wow, he just wants to, go to the bullpen." Blah blah blah. So either way, nobody's gonna be happy with the way it happened. Nestor, he gave up the 3-run home run, and here we go. Again, his struggles in the third time around, and it just snowballs, and that inning just kept going and going and going. But he honestly, he looked good. He looked good.
He looked the best. Solid. He looked like Jacob said. Like Jacob said, and I know Jacob hindsight is 50-50, and I'm thinking about after the whole situation. But yeah, he had 76 pitches. He looked the best he looked all year. He gave up that home run to Frazier. Lefty on lefty matchup. It's just they got the better of it. Yeah, it barely stayed fair. It just the baseball guys went the Orioles' way last night. Go ahead, TC. Sorry for stepping on your toes.
No, it's okay. Hey, we had that comeback the previous night, so they kind of stuck it to us and did it to us. But But yeah, he looked good. He just ran out of gas. But again, that thing hit the foul pole. Frazier's home run.
Yeah.
Uh, Nothing was really hard hit. Cordero had no command and everything fell in. But credit to Nestor. He pitched 6 solid innings. It's just unfortunate it all unraveled in the seventh. It's just too bad.
Yeah. My guy Blue Gold in the chat, he said the Orioles are my team this season. I'm boycotting the Yankees till Cashman is gone. Listen,
Oh, come
I
on.
stand with you. I stand with you, my guy. But when you pick in the Orioles, it's a good, nice young team to pick. Before the season started, and we was doing our season predictions over on NYY News TV. Shout out to my guy Pete Simonetti over there. But when
Yes,
we was
sir.
doing our early season predictions before the season started, I had the Orioles as being the surprising team, and not just the American League East or just the American League, in baseball in general. I had the
Yeah.
Orioles surprising a lot of people, and so far this young team has surprised us. They're in second place right now in the toughest division in all of baseball. If the playoffs started off right now, like I said, I'm not scared of anybody in our division, but if I had to pick a team that I would be more scared of, it would be Baltimore because of that youth, because they got them young prospects that they could call up. They got young pitchers down there at the minor leagues that they can call up towards the end of the season that are probably throwing gas 100 miles per hour, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
The Baltimore
Yeah.
Orioles, you got to watch out for the Orioles. They are one piece away, 1 or 2 pieces away for being an actual threat in the American League.
Yeah, and watch out for them at the trade deadline. I think they're
Oh,
going to go
yeah.
out and get somebody. They're going to get maybe another starting pitcher or
Mm-hmm.
maybe another big bopper in that lineup. And they already have a good contact hitting team. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, don't
Definitely
sleep
do.
on that lineup. I mean, Santander, Mountcastle. What's the catcher? The catcher's name?
Adley
Uh,
Rushman.
yeah, Rush. Oh my gosh, those
Mm-hmm.
guys they
They
can hit.
Yeah, and they get hits with runners in scoring position, and that's what's scary about the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah,
Santander, he's a guy that he's been a Yankee killer his
yeah, he
whole
kills them.
career,
Yeah,
especially with the Baltimore Orioles. So that's a guy you got to watch out for. Adley
yeah.
Rushman, even though he's batting about 270, I think his on-base percentage is about 380, 390, if I'm
Hmm.
not mistaken. That's a solid hitter that you got to be cared about. I mean, you got to be scared about. You got to
Yeah.
be careful. The Baltimore Orioles, they're a real team. I don't think they'll fizzle out the way the Pittsburgh Pirates have started to fizzle out just a little bit. They're still battling for first place in their division. Let's be fair. The NL Central and the AL Central are both the weakest divisions in all of baseball, but you got to give credit to the Pirates and to the Orioles.
Hmm.
Like I said, the Orioles aren't fizzling away. The Pirates were. But let me look at the chat real quick before we continue. I saw somebody in the chat. We got Big Bang Jerry in the building. Jerry, how you doing, my guy? Good morning, Papa Jerry.
What's up?
Oh, Paul as well. The Yankee Clipper is in the
Clipper.
building. Yankee Clipper. I
Yeah.
saw Yankee Clipper last night. Shout out to our guys at Fireside Yankees. Yankee Clipper was in the chat. So was I. It was a good conversation that they was having. I love the back and forth in the chat.
Hmm.
Mr. Keith Saunders is in the building. Keith, my guy, what it do? He said, truthfully, Booney shouldn't have let Nestor come out in the 7th. I agree with you, Keith, but it's one of those situations. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Nestor
Yep.
Cortes was at 76 pitches. He looked the best he looked all season, but I agree. I wouldn't have had him come out, even at 76 pitches. I know hindsight is 50-50, but I would not have had him come out at 76 pitches. If anything, give him an extra throw day. After you take him out of the game, send him to the bullpen and get those extra pitches of work in, if that's what you're going to
Yeah.
have to do. You know that he struggles going through the lineup that third time through. You know he struggles late in the game because he doesn't have the stamina when it comes to his legs. You're going to have to pull him out. And if you're going to go with somebody with runners on the bases and you need to get out of a sticky situation against a team that you were trailing in your division, I would have went with Wandy Peralta, not Jimmy Cordero.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have went with Peralta there. I'd rather have him later in the game, maybe the 8th or 9th. He's been really clutch in the
Mm-hmm.
semi closer role, I guess closer by committee.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean with Nestor telling Boone he runs out of gas. I mean that's a sign right there. I mean that maybe I shouldn't put him in the 7th, but he went and rolled the dice, and it ended up burning us. in the end. But yeah, it's just one of those games. I think I'm just
My
gonna,
guy.
brush this one off.
Yeah, we got to brush this one off. He was like, I was
Yeah.
at the game last night drinking my life away in that suite. You was with Chris. I saw Chris was at the game last night with his work group. Let me know if you was with Chris last night. I gotta hit up Chris anytime he goes to the stadium. He gotta hit me up, bro. But I should be working on going to the stadium. If not next week, the following week, next time they're in, because I think they're about to start a road trip. So I think I'm working on going to the stadium. Keith, we got to link up next time so we can link up at the stadium as well. If anybody's going to the stadium, let's link up. What happened? What's so funny?
You got to put up Casey Fun Times. Put his
Hold
comment up. You got to put, because this goes back, because this is my family here. This is my brother and my dad is in the chat, and yeah, he said, did my dad, JC is my dad, did he have an ulcer? So
we don't want Papa Cadell getting those ulcers.
No, we don't want and he does. He'll blow up. He's not no temper, but I think his blood pressure might be rising in that game. Don't know.
Let's go, Keith. Boston's in town next week. Let's go. Let's line it up. Let's try to go. I'll text message you after
Boston,
the show.
right?
So we could, first time this season facing Boston. I'll text message you after the show, Keith, so we can set that up, my guy. But let's see who else we got in the chat. Also, we got Uncle Tats from the Pinstripe Chronicles. He said, salute, fam. Late, but I made it. Uncle Tats, you are never late. And just so we can let people know about the update with the show, we are going live now Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Fridays will be exclusively for the open panel. As soon as 11:30 starts, the link will be in the chat. Every Friday is open panel Friday. Let's go. Smack that like button. We got 31 people in the building. Let's get those likes up to 30. We at 19 right now with 32 watching. Smack that like button. Go ahead, CC.
No, don't forget to tune in to Pinstripe Chronicles on Saturday on Fort Train Express, Saturday. First time show, first day.
The Pinstripe Express will be debuting this Saturday at 10 p.m. And I think I'm going to be on the show. Maybe, I don't know. I think I'm going to be on the show for this first one. I think I'm a special guest for this one. The guy Hector's a special guest. But shout out to everybody in the chat. Let's look at the two tweets that we got on the screen as well. Shout out to my guy Playoff Tanaka from Twitter. He said Nestor Cortes ERA this season. Through the first 1 through 4 innings, he has an ERA of 2.03. But in the 5th to 7th inning, he has an ERA of 14.68. Again, we understand Nestor Cortes, his struggles that third time through the lineup. But is this a precursor? Is this a trend that we're starting to see when it comes to Nestor Cortes? Is he best situated coming out of the bullpen? I still have faith in Nestor Cortes that he could get his legs underneath him and find his way that he had last year and the year prior. But I will be lying if I was to say I'm not concerned, because I'm concerned, TC.
Yeah, it is concerning because we need length in our starters. So, I mean, I'll take 6 innings. 6 to 7, I'll take. But if he can only go 4 or 5, that just puts too much pressure on the bullpen, and it's unfortunate because he's been one of our crucial to our starting pitching. He's it's him and Sevy right now and Cole. So until Rodon gets back, it's he's got to find a way to get over this 6th inning wall, so to speak. So hopefully he can figure something out, but hey, I don't know. The numbers speak for themselves. 5 through 7, 14 ERA. That's too high.
It's concerning, bro. It's concerning. Yeah. My guy Yankee Clipper, shout out to Yankee Clipper in the chat. I forgot about Nestor's spike the third time through the lineup. That's a great point. I think Nestor is good, but perhaps not as good as last season. A 5+ ERA just won't cut it. 100%. Mr. James Cook is in the building. He said trade deadline predictions, surprises. We're gonna have a further in-depth show when it comes to the trade deadline. Guarantee you that, James Cook. We was having a conversation a little bit about it on the last show, but right now I haven't done a deep dive into other teams and to possible trade candidates. But there's one person that I have my eye on, and it's starting to catch around the Yankees universe because now everybody has their eye on this guy, except for L.I. Yankee King, because L.I. Yankee King, he's a special case. But Mr. Joe Kelly, James Cook, I have my eye on Joe Kelly. I love Joe Kelly's stuff. He throws gas. He has a sinker that moves tremendously. It's what Clay Holmes' sinker looked like before Clay Holmes became a bust, right? But I like Joe Kelly, and I like Joe Kelly's stuff, and I don't think it will cost us that much when it comes to prospect capital in order to get Joe Kelly.
No, that's a good piece to the bullpen. We need it. We have too many injuries. You know, Loiza's out, and Ian Hamilton's out, and F. Frost, and I could just keep going on and on. The bullpen is depleted, and someone like that would fit perfectly, whether he's the setup guy or the closer. I mean, man, I'd love to see him in the 8th or 9th inning.
My guy Emmanuel Morales, he has a MLB The Show wish list. He said Joe Kelly, Shohei, and Tim Anderson. I see what you say. My man said I'm going in there and turning all the trades off and making every trade possible. But I like the enthusiasm, Manny. Listen, if there was a way for the Yankees to get Shohei, I'll take him. But I don't think Hal Steinbrenner is going to want to fork over that $600 million he's going to be asking in the offseason. But let's look at Brian Hoach, because this is something that we brought up. He said, remember, Nestor Cortes said his struggles the third time through the order have been the story of my season. Coming into tonight, the first time through the lineup, a 543 on base percentage. Second time, a 630 OPS. A third time through the lineup, a 15.03 OPS. When it comes down to it, Nestor Cortes does not have his legs underneath him. We all understand Nestor Cortes was dealing with hamstring issues at the end of last year and in spring training, and he may be still dealing with them. He may just need time to get his legs underneath him. And if I'm the Yankees, I'm taking him out after that 6th inning. No matter how many pitches he has. He can have 50 pitches. I'm still taking him out in that 6th inning, bro.
Yeah, I mean, he said it comes right from his mouth. So he's telling the organization that he struggles third time through. I don't know. He can't figure out how to he needs to change his approach third time through. As they're figuring him out. It's unfortunate because I like Nestor and we need him. We need him to get us to the promised land this year. So if he can't make it and struggles, because we're counting on him. I think he's one of our playoff starting pitchers.
Yeah, and go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, well, because if Rodon can't show up, I still haven't seen him. He's still another mystery man. I mean, is the guy going to pitch this year or not? So now we have Cole, Sevy, and Nestor. So it all depends. If Rodon shows up, then I like our chances in the playoffs. But if Rodon can't show up, Nestor's going to be counted on and down the stretch.
For me, when it comes to Nestor Cortes, right, I'm gonna be a little bit fair to Nestor Cortes. When he started off that seventh inning, the first 2 hits he gave up, they were just blooper hits.
Yeah.
They weren't hard a line drive. They weren't doubles in the gaps. They weren't warning track power, anything like that.
Right.
They were just bloop hits. One of them got over Volpe's head. Another one just fell in. And 9 times out of 10, you want Nestor Cortes lefty on lefty against Adam Frazier. This was just that one time that Adam Frazier got the best. We got a new guy in the chat. Eric Estrada is in the building. Salute to you, Eric Estrada. Salute to you, 3 capital S's. Glad to see you in the chat. I just thought early hooks were common and long rain delays. So I was really happy with the 6th and really surprised to see him in the 7th.
Is this the real Eric Estrada from Chips?
If it is the real Eric Estrada from Chips, my guy, give me a signed autograph, 100%.
Yeah.
No.
Where's John Baker? John Baker.
No, but appreciate the new sub when it comes to Eric Estrada. Brew Crew family, welcome Eric Estrada into the chat. If you guys can, smack that like button for Eric Estrada. I never thought in my life, covering the Yankees and being a Yankee content creator, I never thought that I will utter the words smack that like button for Eric Estrada. But I just did, and I got it off my bucket list. But let's continue the
Put that on
conversation.
your the bingo card. You gotta check that off.
But that is a great point. I didn't think about it when it comes to it was a rain delay. And normally in rain delay situations, you take the guy out early. Like Eric said in the chat, he was surprised to see Nestor Cortes in that 7th inning. That is a great point, Eric. Uncle Tats from the Pinstripe Chronicle said, read his question. Hold on, chat. Let me get up to it. Question for you both. All right, I got it right here. Last year, Nestor pitched more innings than ever for his career. Is this what we can expect the remainder of the season where he loses steam? That's a great point. His body is not used to it, right? So it's when your body's not used to something and you try to overextend your body, sometimes injuries pop up. You gotta look at it like this. Your body is like a car. If you have your car running on a certain oil or a certain gasoline type, and that's the one that's been running on for the past 10 years, you've never gone on long road trips, but then you decided to switch it up and go on a long road trip cross country. There's a big possibility your car won't make it that far or will break down on you while you're in the middle of that road trip. You got to be able to keep your body like a car and keep it used to what you're used to doing. Nestor Cortes, and this is the one thing about Nestor, this is one thing I always gave him credit for. Yes, in the major leagues, he's never really pitched that many innings, but after every season, he would pitch in the Winter League. This is the first year. This is the first year of Nestor Cortez's career. He didn't pitch in winter ball. Could that be a reason why he wasn't ready for spring training? Why he doesn't have his legs underneath him? It's a big possibility. Him not pitching in winter ball could be a big reason why he doesn't have his legs underneath him. What's your thoughts on that, TC?
Yeah, and they also held him out of the World Baseball Classic too, so he we could have pitched there. He's not used to pitching that many innings. I don't even know what his the longest he's pitched, 150 innings maybe in a season. So he's not a workhorse.
Yo, Eric, you fit in right in with the crew. You fit in right in with the crew with your comedy. He said, please, so Officer Butcher was my father. Call me Ponch.
Eric Estrada Jr. then. He's a junior. Yeah. So no, he so he's not a Cole. He's not, one of those guys that's going to pitch 200, 220 innings a year. So he's hitting the wall right now, I think, and he just needs to get over that. And so Boone needs to manage his innings. And next time around, if he has low pitch count in the 6th inning, take him out, and don't put yourself in this situation.
And this is going to be a tough stretch for the Yankees when it comes to their bullpen. We have a game against Baltimore later on today at 7 o'clock. Then we start a 3-game series against the Padres. Then we have the Seattle Mariners coming into town. And then we get to the month of June. And I think June is the first time we'll have an off day. We're going to have literally 9 games that the Yankees are playing in a row.
4 Mondays off in June, I think.
Exactly. June 1st is going to be the Yankees' first off day after this stretch. Like I said, we have the Orioles. We got the Padres coming up. The Mariners are coming up as well. So over these next 9 games, we don't have a day off. Our bullpen is going to be really tested. Friday's game that we have, I think it's tomorrow's game against the Padres, we're going to have to put an opener. It's going to be a bullpen game on Friday, right? So we
got the perfect guy for that.
Go ahead. We have to have, hold on, let's see who's pitching tonight. Clark Smith. If there's ever a time we need Clark Smith to step up and give us 6-7 solid innings, that's tonight. Go ahead, TC.
There's a guy in AAA that is just itching to come up, and he'd be a good opener, I think, or a bullpen piece is Matt Crook. I'm not sure why he hasn't been called up. He's off the IL. He's been pitching in Scranton now for a little bit, so I would definitely bring him up for that game for sure.
Let me look up Matt Crook's stats, and I agree with you when it comes to Matt Crook. I just really think that they're trying to get him going, right? Because like you said, he was injured, so he has to find his legs underneath him. It's good to do it in the minor leagues right now, but let me just look at his numbers to see how many innings he has pitched so far. He's thrown 17 in the 3rd inning so far in Scranton. right? I'm not sure if they're waiting for
not a
him to
lot.
get to the magical 20 innings or 30 inning mark to bring him up, but you're going to have to bring him up, and you're probably going to have to bring him up during this Padres series or during the Seattle Mariners series, because this bullpen, it needs help, and it needs help in a bad way.
Yeah. There's a couple guys. We still have Weissert down there. We have I think Colton Brewer's still down there. Randy Vasquez would be an option too as well. So they can.
Yeah, but these guys, when it comes
ahead.
to Randy Vasquez, I listen. I love Randy Vasquez as a prospect, but he has an ERA that's over 4, right? Greg Weissert, he has an ERA that's under 4. He is like in the middle of 3s. Every time he gets called up to the major league level, he gets shelled. Shelled. There's not that many pitchers on the 40-man rosters that's in the minor leagues right now for the Yankees. We have what we have. It looks like Brian Cashman is going to have to go outside of the organization to find somebody just to help us in that 6th inning, in that 7th inning.
Yeah.
Until Ian Hamilton come back.
It has to.
Tommy Kahnle is making his way back, so we may get some reinforcements. By the time in 2 weeks, we may have Kahnle, we may have Ian Hamilton back, and we may have Matt Crook up here. So our bullpen issues most likely will be solved in the next 2 weeks. But right now, we're in a tough spot right now. Our bullpen, they're in a tough situation.
Yeah, they're just going to have to ride out the storm right now. I mean, gut it out. I mean, they honestly, I've been saying this from the beginning. They have been saving us this season. This bullpen, they were the number 1 bullpen. I don't know about since yesterday, but they were the number 1 bullpen coming into last night's game. And, Michael Kay opens his mouth, and then there you go.
He jinxes it. But
So,
Matt Crook, so far, he's pitching to a 2.83 ERA and 17 innings he has. Hold on, let me just check how many strikeouts he has. He has 34 strikeouts, and he has allowed 0 home runs. Zero home runs. When it comes to Matt Crook, he will definitely most likely be up here. It's just a matter of when will the Yankees bring him up. But let's switch gears momentarily, because it's, we're just going to keep on crying if we keep talking about the bad. Let's talk about the good, because Gleyber Torres, it was a Gleyber day yesterday. Gleyber Torres, he had 2 home runs. Gleyber Torres, thank you, Yankees Muse, is top 5 in weighted runs created, home runs, RBIs, and OPS among second basemen. Being top 3 on the Yankees in all of his offensive stats. Is the trade Gleyber Torres crowd, has they gone quiet? Do we trade Gleyber Torres, even though he's a top 5 second baseman? What's your thoughts on it, TC?
Well, as of today, I wouldn't trade him. But again, like I was saying, when he has his moments on the base paths and his plays in the field, he starts throwing the ball around, then that's when I want to trade him. But right now, no. He's like I said, he's our 3rd best hitter. He is a key piece to this team right now. And unless someone can blow us away with the trade, I'm not letting him go. I'm not giving him away for some middle of the road, bullpen guy. I'm getting either a left fielder or a closer or both for Gleyber Torres. I'm not giving him away. And let's not forget about a certain utility shortstop we have, IKF, who had a great game as well.
Oh yeah, I was gonna bring up IKF. He is how can I say this? He is an honorable mention in this one, talking about Gleyber Torres. But IKF, he has
surge.
I talked about it on the last show, right? When it comes to IKF, he last year was horrible, but this year so far, and the role that he is in, the role that he has been given, IKF shows you he gives a damn. You put him out there, he may show you a thing or two. I'd rather see IKF hustle, and I'd rather see IKF giving a damn than seeing Aaron Hicks out there not caring or not giving a damn or not hustling. 100%. My guy Joseph Caputo from the shift. Hey, yo, Big Bad Joe. I think you trade Gleyber if you don't intend to re-sign him. And it's going to come down to it. And I think when we get to the trade deadline, I think there'll be more conversations of trading Gleyber Torres. But we got to be honest right now. We got to be realistic. We got to take off our Yankee goggles. Josh Donaldson is, not Josh Donaldson, Josh Donaldson. DJ LeMahieu is not having the season we thought DJ LeMahieu would be having. He
Yeah.
had that situation the other day where he tried to put down a bunt and it didn't work out. He is batting 250 on the season. And when you have DJ LeMahieu batting 250 with no power, is there even a reason to even have him in the lineup?
Yeah.
You start
Very
having those
concerning.
questions. It's very concerning. His defense his defense is always going to be solid. You
Oh
can
yeah.
have him at third base, have him at second base, but when DJ LeMahieu is not hitting for average or above 300 average with a little bit of power, how much can DJ actually help you in that lineup? Because we have these question marks. We got rid of
Yeah.
Aaron Hicks. Josh Donaldson is on the way back. Our big question mark now in this lineup is DJ LeMahieu. DJ is one of those guys that we rely on. He's not
Yeah.
Willie Calhoun in the lineup who's just going to give you whatever he's going to give you. He's not IKF. DJ is one of the players that this lineup was built around, and we rely heavily on DJ LeMahieu, and he's not coming up in the situations, or he's not coming through in the situations we need him to come through with. And I'm trying to be as fair as I can when it comes to DJ LeMahieu, because I do understand the injuries. I get it. Once he had his hip surgery like last year or the year prior, I said, listen, be careful. When a baseball player's hips go, when a baseball player start getting plantar fasciitis, those are the two warning signs that their career is about to go on a downturn. And DJ LeMahieu, he's on the opposite side of 30. He's on my side of 30, the side of 30 you don't want to be on with your bad hips and your bad back. What's your thoughts, TC?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. We do rely on DJ. He's one of our most reliable contact hitters. I mean, he's up batting 280, 290 consistently, and to see him struggle and the strikeouts are very, very alarming. I mean, he's struck out 30% of the time, I think, right now, which is extremely
Manny
high.
said, you see that power from IKF? I see the next Aaron Judge in him.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Yeah, he's making a run for 62. Uh, No, so yeah, his defense, DJ, no worries about that. But yeah, now since Stanton's out and he's been in that fourth spot, we need him to come through. And he's more times than not he's not, and he's missing balls, and I don't know, the bat speed isn't there. I don't know if he needs some contacts or glasses, or he's just not recognizing pitches. I don't know. It's unfortunate because I'm a big fan of DJ. I always, if he's not in the lineup, I'm like, why is he not in the lineup? And let's talk about another guy that's not in the lineup,
Go
Ben
ahead.
Rortvet. What is going on, Boone?
I don't
What is
know.
going on?
I don't know. We saw him, a defensive replacement late in the game, but I agree. Ben Rohrbeck, he has to be in the lineup today. We need that lefty bat in the lineup. Higashioka, he couldn't get that run in with runners in scoring position at the beginning of the game, and it hurt
Horrible.
us. It hurt us. It's hard, but we have to get guys in with less than 2 outs. We have to get them in from third base,
Hmm.
and Higashioka just couldn't even muster up a fly out to get that run in. That's what wins
Yeah.
and loses you games. When you're a team that's a solid team, if you're able to get runners in with the 2-out hit, runners in from third base with 1 out or no outs, that's what separates you from the teams that are just pretending. The Yankees, if we want to be taken serious, those are the situations we have to come through in. We can't
Hmm.
just throw those situations away. You saw what happened last night. We
Yeah.
could have used those extra runs. If we would have got those
Hmm.
extra runs, who knows what would have happened? And a great play from Austin Hayes. That was a
Oh, geez.
phenomenal play with the bases loaded. Anthony Rizzo hit a shot to left field. Austin
Yeah.
Hayes, an amazing play. If Austin Hayes does not make that play, at least 2 runs score. At
Yeah, I
least
think
2
I would have
runs
thought,
score,
yeah,
bare
3
minimum.
runs. Possibly all 3 runs could have scored if that got by him. Yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
was a great play. Um, but going back with Rortvet, I mean, these divisional games, we have to put our best lineup
Yeah.
together, and
Mm-hmm.
that was not our best lineup.
Nope.
And Boone's got to stop. This is what you do against the Reds and the A's and the Royals and the teams like that. These divisional games, you can't consistently sit your best hitters. I don't care if they need a rest. I don't understand the lineup construction. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
understand the roster is a disaster, but the lineup construction, let's get a consistent lineup with our best players available every game. I'm tired of this sit guys. One, he gets 3 hits, he sits the next game. This guy gets hot. He can't be consistent. Can't get hot.
Right.
It's just frustrating. Very frustrating. I don't know
Right.
about you. It just
No, I feel it. I feel it.
yeah.
I definitely feel your frustration. I think it's all of us Yankee fans. We feel the frustrations. It's just we can't just be a team that is just one dimensional. We can't just be a team that is built on home runs. All the runs we scored yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, came all via the home runs. We
Yep.
didn't get the hit with runners in scoring position. We didn't get the
Rizzo.
single. We
Rizzo's hit
didn't
was
get
the only one.
Rizzo.
Yeah.
Rizzo
That was the
hit
only
was
one.
the only
Yeah.
one that wasn't scored via the home run.
Mhm.
That was it. But even with Anthony Rizzo, you have to get those hits in the gaps. Shout out to Anthony Rizzo because at home, if you guys didn't get this stat, he is hitting at Yankee Stadium coming into last night's game. He is hitting 385 at home.
Wow.
Talking about loving home cooking. Anthony Rizzo in Yankee Stadium is money, especially now with that shift being gone. Like I said, Anthony Rizzo, he may be the starting first baseman at the All-Star game. It'll be a competition between Anthony Rizzo and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Most likely it will go to Vladdy just because he's younger. But Anthony Rizzo, if he keeps performing the way he's performing, he would definitely be at the All-Star game.
Oh yeah.
Before we continue, we got our friend backstage who's gonna come up to join the conversation. But before we guys do that, we got 23 likes. We got 33 people watching. If you guys can, smack that like button. If you haven't hit the like button, smack that like button for your boys as we continue the conversation. We're trying to get to 30 likes. But without further ado, you saw we had last week our friend Julian, Carlos, and our guy Dane. But I'm going to bring up a guy that he works exclusively with my friend Julian, Mr. Nathan Ramachandra from the NNR Hour. Nathan, what it do? Salute, my guy.
Hey, Todd. Nice to meet you. How you doing?
Oh, nice to meet you.
Hey, thank you, Hector, for having me on the show again. You guys are killing it, obviously, for Brew Crew Sports. And I always tune in to watch you guys. And, man, you, like I said, amazing show. And you got the interaction, and which is amazing. And, obviously, talking Yankees baseball and the prospects and dissecting what the Yankees need and don't need, or what the Yankees are planning to do. So I can't wait. And like I said, I always enjoy coming on this show. And like I said, you always kill it. And shout out to you guys, man. It's amazing.
Nah, Nathan, shout out for you. Thank you for taking this time out this morning. Nathan, you know that you're family. Anytime that you want to come on the channel, you know that you're more than welcome to. Guys, if you guys don't know, all the interviews that I've done with former major league players, whether it be AJ Przinsky, whoever else, all these interviews is because of Nathan. Nathan reaches out to me to have him on his platform, helping him with these interviews. So the only reason I'm able to even do any of these interviews is because my friend Nathan Ramachandra. I want to give you your flowers for that, Nathan. I always appreciate you reaching out to me to have me on these amazing interviews. I know we're working on another one with my friend Andres Chaparro.
Oh,
I know we're working on another one. That's my friend.
What
That's
time was
my
that,
buddy.
Jigga? What time was that?
48 minutes.
48 minutes
before I mentioned Andre Chaparro. But Nathan, brother, I appreciate you. I saved this last conversation for when you came on, especially, right? Because you are down there with the guys at Somerset. You cover the games at Somerset. And I apologize that I haven't made it out to Somerset. I'm trying to make it out there pretty soon so we can link up and stuff like that. I possibly take a shot every time Chaparro has entered the conversation. Take your shot. But no, Nathan, I saved this topic for you so we can have the conversation. But Josh Donaldson, I know he's coming back. I know that he's working on a rehab assignment with Scranton Wilkes-Barre. It's not Somerset, but he was in Somerset, and you were able to interview Josh Donaldson. What's your take on Josh Donaldson? Give me the inside scoop on Mr. JD. Go ahead, Nathan.
Yeah, so before we get to the Scranton situation, but he was at Somerset when we were there. I think it was like 3 weeks ago. I think 3-4 weeks ago, he was in Somerset, and obviously he was good with the media and good with us, and he looked pretty good during pregame warmups on the field, fielding grounders and taking batting practice. And when they called us in for media day, and when we were able to interview him in the dugout, a lot of people had a lot of questions for him, and asking how healthy he is he ready to come back, and how does he feel playing baseball again? And the question I asked was only about Garrett Cole, because I don't like to steal people's questions during the day. So if people have their specific, their own questions, then I don't like to steal those. So I just came up with the Garrett Cole question. But the other reporters that were there, they asked the key questions about like how healthy he is, and when are you going to come back to the Yankees, or how is your what's a hamstring feeling, like that. But but during the game, and after the interview and when the game started, his first at bat, he grounded out to third. He didn't. We wanted, the big question was, can he run to the base? So when he grounded to third, he didn't hustle. He was running slow. He just was walking, running. So at that point, I thought he wasn't ready yet. But before the pregame stuff, he looked good. But during the game, he did not look good. So they took him out after 5 innings. I think after 5 innings, and that was it. But and then everybody saw the setback with slicing his hand. So that was another setback. But the Somerset experience for him was good. And like not the running part, but he didn't look good on the base. But all in all, he did good there. But tomorrow, today he's going to be in Scranton, and I think tomorrow we might be going to Scranton tomorrow to cover if they're still there. But yeah, all in all, great experience for him at Somerset, and I think the key was just running the bases, but he didn't. He didn't.
You go to make your way down to Scranton to go watch them.
Yeah,
you said?
I think tomorrow. Yeah.
Nice. Listen, good luck on that little bit of a road trip going down there to Scranton, right?
We went to Scranton. I think it was last month. We covered them last month, and I interviewed Matt Crook. I interviewed him. He's an interesting player. He's a great person, and underrated pitcher, obviously, as you see by the numbers. And Todd brought it up. I think Todd, I agree with you, Todd. He can be a potential call-up candidate for maybe like an opener or a bullpen spot. And another guy we interviewed down there was Greg Weiser before he got called. Kept getting called up in the last month, but that's another guy. But I think Matt Crook is an interesting guy because all the Yankee fans are high on him. Julian is even high on him. So keep an eye on him. So that was a great experience when we were there last month. So I think tomorrow we'll go back up there to see if Josh Donaldson is still there or Tommy Canley.
Yeah. Shout out to Julian also. The work that you and Julian do, you guys are amazing. The way that you cover both Somerset and the major league level, the passion you guys have. You was just at the Sports Writers Award. What was that you?
Oh yeah.
And let me tell you,
speak on that, just to let people know that my guy Nathan, he was rubbing elbows with some of the big sports writers out there. Nathan likes to play modest, but Nathan, he's a well-known guy. Go ahead, Nathan, talk about it.
Yeah, so one of our good friends, his name is Fago. He hooked us up with this, like the credentials here for the new. It's called the 44th Sports Emmy Award, Sports Awards in New York. It was held in New York at the. I don't know if you guys know. The Jazz at Lincoln Center in 60th Street in New York. So that's where they had the event. So all the biggest stars come out. They get nominated and for these amazing awards or the projects they've been working on. Or so, for example, I bring it up here right now. And by the way, shout out to Fago for helping us out that night and giving us the credentials. And that was an amazing experience. The one that experience I will never forget because that's like one of the biggest events we covered so far as a journalist. And some of the stars that I interviewed are Rich Eisen, Ric Flair, the Nature Boy,
nice,
Ryan Clark, Nate Burleson, Tom Verducci from MLB Network, Kenny Smith from NBA TNT, L. Duncan, Mike Tirico, Jason McCarty. And then the biggest one, Robert Griffin III was there. And and yeah, all of these people, I'm just honored that they took time out of their just to do a short, quick interview because after the photo shoot, they had to go to another room to get ready for the show. But they took time. There was other media outlets there trying to ask some questions. So I just asked them, do you have time to take a couple of questions? Most of them said yes. And that's what I'm honored about, grateful for. And like I said,
That's what's up, Nathan.
shout out to Fago for setting this up.
Nathan, you're putting in the work and everything's gonna pay off, bro. You are hustling, and I wish I'd had the energy like you had, my guy, because I really wish I had the same energy as my guy Nathan. But shout out to Nathan. Make sure you guys follow Nathan, the NR Hour, on Twitter and Instagram. Nathan, maybe there's a way that we can merge both of our, I want to say, communities, or both of what we're doing, because over here, when it comes to the Morning Brew Sports, we're looking at starting a website when it comes to writing, and you're somebody that you already handle that. So maybe there's a situation that we can work in the future and probably work that out together. But let's bring it back to the Yankees for a second, just because we know what's going on with the team at the major league level. You brought up Matt Crook. You touched on him just a little bit. Is there any other pitchers in the minor leagues, whether that be at Scranton or Somerset, that maybe some of us fans do not have on the radar? We talked about Randy Vasquez for a while, but he has an ERA that's over 4. Greg Weissert, he's a guy that his ERA is in the mid-3s, but every time he gets called up to the major league level, he gets shelled. Is there somebody that you have an eye on that you think can help this team coming out of the bullpen?
Yeah, like Todd said, the Randy Vasquez situation, his ERA is high. He needs to. The problem with Randy Vasquez is his command issue. He doesn't know, like, the locating pitches. His stuff is there, don't get me wrong, but the locating of his pitches is not there yet. Once he gets that location of the pitches, then he's nasty. He's going to be hard to hit. But some other pitchers, Tanner Myatt from Somerset, the bullpen guy, keep an eye on him. He's having a great year for Somerset. Obviously, I like Will Warren. I love Will Warren stuff. Who got called up to Scranton. That's another name to watch for.
Do you think I apologize for cutting you off, Nathan? Do you think Will Warren, do you think we'll see him at the big leagues level this year, or it's going to be next year?
The way he's carrying, the way he's been pitching in Somerset to Scranton. I mean, look at him. I think he got 2 starts so far for Scranton, and
he had a rough outing last outing.
But all in all, from outside of that, I think he's a call-up candidate too, in my opinion. I just love the way he competes on the mound. This is one of my favorite pitchers in the Yankee system. And this is, like I said, Will Warren works hard, and we interviewed him at Somerset, and this guy is the Yankee fans are going to fall in love with him. But I think he needs more time at AAA. But the name to watch out for, though, it's Tanner Myatt. Just look close. I'll give you guys updates on him. But this guy's been having a great year at Somerset. So
nice. KC put him in the chat also. Go ahead, Nathan.
Another pitcher to look for, Clayton Beater, the guy who we got from the Joey Gallo trade. And he's
moving up in the system.
He's been killing it. He should be called up pretty soon too, like Will Warren to Scranton.
Give us your breakdown when it comes to Clayton Beater. His stuff is filthy. I know he has a fastball that plays at 98, 99 miles per hour. But when it comes to Clayton Beater, do you see him projecting more as a starter or a reliever, Nathan?
Right now at Somerset, he's a starter. I would like to see him as a starter, but I think his stuff plays better as a bullpen guy. I think this guy has nasty secondary pitchers. He has a nasty curve, changeup, and then the slider that goes down like this. I think his stuff plays out better. I think Will Warren's stuff plays out as a starter, and then Beater stuff plays out as a reliever. So I think when it comes to Clayton Beater, or he can be an opener too, but when it comes to Clayton Beater, I think his fastball is up there, and secondary pitches is there. He's polished, but I think before going to the big leagues, I think he needs more time in the minors to go to AAA. So look for him to get called up pretty soon to AAA. But I keep saying Tanner Myatt. This guy is something to watch for. I think he's a guy to get called up too.
Copy.
He's a giant
TC,
too, right? He's 6'7".
I'm gonna throw it over to
Tanner
you, TC.
Myatt,
go ahead.
Big guy.
Yeah, big guy. Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead, TC. I'll throw it over to you. You got a question for Nathan?
Well, other than the pitchers, who else do you think is?
Oh,
How do you feel about like Esteban Florial? Do you think the Yankees will ever give him a shot?
this guy. Oh my God, Esteban Flores. How many times we have given him a chance? Designated him for assignment and then coming back, designated for assignment, coming back, going to the minors, dropping him to Somerset, Scranton. He's like been traveling. He's I don't know. I feel bad for him, and since I mean, this is a good thing for him is Aaron Hicks is gone now. So
Yeah.
Hicks we don't have to worry about Hicks anymore. But when it comes to Florial, I like his talent. He's been killing it in Scranton. You know what's funny? I don't know how it's weird how these players adapt to the majors. But when Esteban Florial goes to the majors, somehow he just goes into a red a shock mode. But when he's in the AAA, he just dominates.
He kills it.
It's the difference is he gets to play every day. The problem when he gets to the majors, they don't give him that consistent, playing time. And that's what happens. That's why he's got a sample size of 20, 30 at bats, and maybe he got 2-3 hits out of that, and then they base it on that. In AAA, he's playing every day. Look what he's doing.
Yeah, so I think this is a guy who can help out the Yankees this year. I would not give up.
Yeah.
I would not give up on him just yet. And obviously Cashman believes in him. The Yankees front office believes in him to see how many times you bring him back. But if an injury happens, or I mean, you can still bring him up. You can use him for speed, and he can or bunting or whatever. He can play the small ball type of player like that. So I wouldn't give up on him. He's having a great year, obviously, and another player to watch for Somerset wise, Everson Pereira. This guy has been.
I heard he's hot. Yeah.
I love him. I love watching him play. He always shares the videos that I post for him. He shares it. So
nice fire.
But
I want to ask you because there was some rumbling going around, and we talked about it or whatever via text message, but. They took him out of the game early yesterday. Is it an injury or what? Did you hear anything when it comes to that? Is there something on the rise when it comes to Everson Pereira? What's your thoughts on that, Nathan? Because he was taken out before his at bat even in the first inning yesterday.
I saw something about that. But all they said they didn't. No one said anything more about that afterwards, right?
No. Nothing else afterwards. No.
All right, I don't know. I have no updates for you there. I have to check on that one, but maybe I hope it's not injury. I hope it's not.
Yeah, I think they said it wasn't baseball related, so it might have been.
But that means maybe a trade, maybe or a AAA.
Yeah, that's what we thought.
I mean,
maybe. Or he gets caught. Whenever you find out, Nathan, just let me know so we could relay the news to the fans. But I wanted to bring up because we was talking about Esteban Florial and his playing time that he gets here at the major league level, or his lack of playing time he gets here at the major league level. He was with the Yankees one game so far at the major league level this season. One game. He didn't get any playing time. Last year, he was with the Yankees for 17 games, but he only got 35 plate appearances. In 2022, he was with the Yankees for 9 games and got 32. I apologize. Last year, it was 13 games, 27 plate appearances. 2022, it was 17 games, 35 plate appearances. And in 2021, he was with the Yankees for 9 games and only 32 plate appearances. So he hasn't even gotten 50 plate appearances in a season.
Yeah, and I mean, he's a good player, but he just I think I think in my opinion, he needs more playing time, just more experience, and once he gets that, I think he can be a player that can help the Yankees. Now he can help the Yankees now, but I think he just needs more playing time. That's it. That's all. And then more bats and more everything. So once he gets that down, then maybe he can help the Yankees this year or next year or down the line. So that's another player the Yankee fans should be excited about.
Yeah, we're missing that defense in left field. We need that. We're putting infielders out there. IKF is trying his best, and Jake Bowers, but Florial is an excellent fielder, and he has speed. He'll get to those balls. So I don't get it.
No, like I said, Cashman. I mean, no, not Cashman. Cashman. They need to utilize these prospects. here's the thing about Cashman. Let me say something about.
Go ahead, Nathan.
If you're not going to trade these prospects, what's the point of keeping them? Just play them. Like we miss out on good quality players like Luis Castillo. We could have had Luis Castillo behind Garrett Cole, and we missed out on that. We missed out on some great talent. And if you're not going to trade these prospects, why not just play them, right? So the Yankee fans can see what they have. And like I said, they're wasting Floria's talent, and he has talent.
Yeah,
you can see it in Scranton. So call him up now, and he can be a valuable piece. And like I said, he can do multiple things: run the bases, play defense. You don't need him to hit. We got enough hitters. You just need him to do small things. That's it.
Preach, Nathan. Preach.
Honestly, sorry, Hector, but this was the perfect time to bring up either Florio or Chaparro, with Stanton being out, Donaldson being out, and now the timeline is closing because they're going to come back, and you're not going to see what you have in these guys. It's too bad. They wasted this time.
And Peraza too. Look at Peraza. He's doing good too in Scranton, and
he's killing it in Scranton.
Yeah. So I mean, our friend Chaparro, man, give him a chance. Chaparro,
he could have DH'd.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I would have rather seen our friend Chaparro as the DH than Willie Calhoun. 100%.
100%.
So listen, this is nothing personal against Willie Calhoun, but his time has passed, right? He was a top prospect with the Rangers, never really amounted to anything. He had a good season when he first came up. Once his hand or his wrist broke, he's never been the same. After that, he had a good week. He had a good week with us. I ain't going to lie. He did have a nice, solid week with us. But after that, it fizzled out. So I would have definitely rather seen Andres Chaparro, but I'm not sure if that's going to happen because Giancarlo Stanton is on his way back. Nathan, I wanted to ask you, as being a guy who covers Somerset and who travels to Scranton as well to cover the team, have you heard anything about Giancarlo Stanton and when he will start his rehab assignment down either at Somerset or Scranton?
We haven't heard anything that just yet, but Boone said he's close to doing a rehab assignment. So I hope it's at Somerset. So I don't have to travel all the way again to Scranton, but I hope it's at Somerset. And if it is at Somerset, then we'll definitely have coverage for you guys and updates and to see how he's doing. And we, like I said, we're just waiting for the confirmation from and Brian Hoke or whoever wants to report it. But we're just waiting for that. But when it comes to Chaparro, all I have to say is it's Chappie time now in the Bronx. This guy is underrated, and we interviewed him already, right? So this guy is a great player, great person, works hard. He was not even on the prospect list when he came the first time he was coming through, and now he's working his way up, and I feel like he's ready. And I don't know. It's like I hope he gets a chance somehow.
Yeah, definitely. Our personal bias want to see Andres Chaparro up here ASAP. But Nathan, I gotta ask you, there's a series next week, Yankees versus the Red Sox. I'm trying to get out there for a game. We gotta link up, bro, for a game. So are you trying to when's the next time you're trying to go to Yankee Stadium? I'm trying to link up with you and Julian, my guy.
Speaking of Yankees, the Red Sox this week. I mean, next week it's Somerset against the Portland Sea Dogs, so you get the double of.
Okay, you get the major leagues and the minors going at it. Yeah.
But I got to check my schedule because we got to cover some Trent Thunder games too coming up for the MLB draft league. That starts June 1st, and so I got to check my schedule. But definitely all link up and. Probably try bringing some of my coworkers too, and then some of my friends to the game, and we'll have like a group party at the Yankee Stadium. So
also, Nathan, September 23rd, mark it in your calendar. Let's try to make this work out. But NYY News TV will be taking over Yankee Stadium again in the Audi Suites. If you're able to get a ticket, I would love to have you there, Nathan. Pete just put it in the chat. My brother Pete Seminetti, he said Nathan needs to be there September 23rd. Okay. Absolutely.
Yeah, well, definitely. Okay, I'll definitely come out there September 23rd.
Definitely.
At least for the food. For the food, definitely.
The food is banging. The food is banging. I ain't gonna lie. But Nathan, we definitely got to try to make it out to a Yankee game together. I'm trying to schedule it. I most likely will be going next week to the stadium, Yankees versus Red Sox. Not sure what day I'm gonna go, but I'll let you know. That way, if you're free, you can try to figure it out. I may have a little 50% off when it comes to the ticket. So let's try to work that out, Nathan. But
go ahead, Nathan. Yeah, so I mean, you're mentioning Joe Kelly. So Joe Kelly, he'd be a great fit. Don't get me wrong, but you know how some of these pitchers adapt to the Yankee Stadium, and um, he's Joe Kelly's getting up there in age, right? Or Craig, but do you think Cashman will gamble on that with the Joe Kelly situation?
It's more of a Cashman type of trade if you think about it, because Joe Kelly, like you said, he is getting up there in age. He's not one of those. He's not on like a big heavy contract. So when trading for Joe Kelly, we may not have to give up as many prospects like we would if we were to trade for Gregory Soto, like the Phillies did. They gave up a lot of prospects to get Gregory Soto. Like if we were to trade for Diaz from Cincinnati, we would have to give up a lot of prospects to get Diaz. Joe Kelly, he's on the lower end of that. He is still a solid reliever, but the asking price would not be what it is for any of these other top-notch relievers like a Diaz, like a Emmanuel Clase from Cleveland. So he's more of a safer bet than anything else.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I hope Cashman better not the prospects that we need to keep. Will Warren, Chaparro, Peraza, obviously. We might have to sacrifice some.
Spencer Jones.
Yeah, Spencer Jones. Oh,
don't touch him.
Speaking of Spencer Jones, we can see him at Somerset at some point this year.
I wanted to ask you because I asked Julian last week when he was on. Shout out to our friend Julian. But when it comes to Spencer Jones, have you heard? Are there any rumblings? Are they getting his locker ready at Somerset? What have you heard from Somerset when it comes to? Are they having the Spencer Jones bobblehead night at Somerset? Nathan, let us know.
Well, I think they're getting the red carpet ready for him. So hopefully soon. But Spencer Jones, man. Another shout out to our friend. I don't know if you guys know Mike Ashmore. He covers everything Yankees too.
Yes, we follow each other on Twitter. We're mutuals on Twitter. Yes,
he covers Hudson Valley too, so he gets all the insights of Hudson Valley prospects, and Spencer Jones. He's been covering, and man, this guy I'm not saying he's Bryce Harper, but this guy reminds me of Bryce Harper a little bit. His swing, his tenacity, plays great defense. Hit the ball. He's fast too, and he reminds me of Bryce Harper. But I'm not saying he's Bryce Harper. I'm just saying,
I know what you mean. Yeah.
But this guy, we should see him at Somerset. Hopefully by this year. Yeah, I think we can see him this season the way he's been playing. And this is the guy maybe you can see move up faster than Jason Dominguez, in my opinion.
Yeah,
yeah.
I got one more name for you, Nathan. How about Austin Wells? Do you think he gets a shot?
I love Austin Wells. Ever since he came back, so we did media day with him too. But ever since he came back from the injured list, he's been killing it. He has 7 home runs already and 20 RBIs. Yeah. This guy can hit the ball. Obviously play. I'm just worried about his catching ability still.
I wanted to ask you that. What's your thoughts on his? What's your evaluation when it comes to his catching? Do you see him sticking as a catcher, or would he have to move positions to either first base or one of the corner outfield spots? Nathan, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, so when it comes to catching, he calls a great game, but don't get me wrong. But when it comes to the throwing ability, there's one game that we covered. There was a guy on first base, and he was stealing the base, and he threw the ball to the second baseman, but it was not even close to getting him out. But I think I question his throwing ability, but I can see him eventually. Maybe they switch him to another position, probably first base or outfield, or catcher. Play 2 positions, catcher and first base or outfield. Yeah. So I think he can be like a versatile player at some point. Like my friend Matt, I'm good friends with. So one of my friends from high school, his name is Matt Dice. He plays for the Angels now. He's a catcher / first baseman. So that's what they did for him, is be a versatile player for the Angels. So maybe we can see the same exact type of player for Austin Wells. But his offense is major league ready. Don't get this guy. Oh yeah, at Yankee Stadium, he can easily hit 40 home runs right now. Yeah. His offense is off the charts. But the defense is kind of worrisome. But like I said, position flex could be.
Yeah, because I was going to ask you, because when it comes to his bat, the first time I saw Austin Wells, I told you I went to go see him with the Tampa Tarpons, him and Jason Dominguez. And it was his first game that he was called up to the Tampa Bay Tarpons because he was at he was at like the whatever it is right before Tampa. And this first at bat, he hit a home run, but it left George M. Steinbrenner Field. Everybody was quiet when he hit circling the bases because they didn't believe what just happened. Austin Wells, his bat, if he was a first baseman, he will already be up here at the major leagues. Am I too bit out there by saying that, Nathan?
Oh no. I agree with you 100%. But the problem is we got Rizzo, so we're actually no, never mind. We didn't have Rizzo at that time. So if Wells was a first baseman at that time, when, like you said, then Austin Wells could have been our first baseman right now.
Yeah.
Instead of Rizzo. So Rizzo would not even happen if Wells was the first baseman.
Yeah, I'm happy with Rizzo right now. I want to see Austin Wells. I think he is versatile because even though he is a catcher, he does have some speed. So he has some legs underneath him. So you could see him transitioning either to left field or right field, most likely right field at Yankee Stadium if they were to make that move. But I think the improvements, because he has improved as a catcher from when the Yankees drafted him. When it comes to his pitch framing, when it comes to his blocking ability, he is getting a lot better when it comes to that perspective of the game. His calling of the game seems like it's up there as well. He caught Luis Severino. Severino didn't seem like he had any issues with Austin Wells behind the plate. So I think Austin Wells does have a bright future. And this is the one thing, and Nathan, you could probably address this as well for Yankee fans. Since I've been watching this team since the late 90s or 2000s, whatever, this is the first time that we can say the Yankees, they have a group of young prospects that you could think that they are all special. We've never had a group of young prospects all at the same time like we have right now with the Yankees. When you look at it, Volpe's already up here, but Peralta is knocking on the door. Jason Dominguez is knocking on the door. Austin Wells, Spencer Jones, Will Warren, Trey Sweeney, Clayton Beater. We have a lot of young guys that are on the rise, and this is the first time that we had a collective pool of this much talent at the minor league level since the late 90s, since Jeter came up, since Posada came up, since Pettit, since Rivera. So Yankee fans, enjoy what's going on right now, especially when it comes to these young baby bombers.
Hey, it's a good thing that you brought up Trey Sweeney. I love covering this guy. Trey Sweeney's a heck of a player. I did a so we do this. I do these
future third baseman.
Yeah, I do these like videos, like future videos for them. So I put a Trey Sweeney video out there at one point, and this guy, I said he reminds me of DJ LeMahieu from the left side. Like the length of his bat and the way he plays just reminds me of DJ LeMahieu a little bit. So he can be like Todd said, third baseman, or he's a shortstop right now at Somerset, but he can be position flex too, just like Austin Wells. But I love he's a gamer. He plays hard every day. And another guy to look out for, guys, is Tyler Hardman from Somerset.
Yeah, I was just gonna bring him up.
Yeah. He's that's the problem with the Yankees. They're rich at so many positions. Like for example, catching position, they have like 13 catchers in the minor league system. And Anthony Sigler, but going back to Tyler Hardman, but that's another guy to watch out for in the infield. But,
but you brought up Anthony Sigler, and I brought him up. I mentioned him also. We'll be wrapping up at 12:25, just so everybody knows. But I brought up Anthony Sigler when I was having a conversation with Julian when he was on last week. Anthony Sigler, to me, he's a guy that he has a string of bad lucks because once the Yankees drafted him, he got knee surgery. Then the next year, he was battling with a back injury. Anthony Sigler defensively is a solid catcher. He doesn't have the power to be a catcher, like when you say like home run power, but he does put the bat on the ball, and he is a high contact guy. What's your thoughts about Anthony Sigler, and do you think that he will ever crack the major league roster?
Right now, I mean,
because injuries have been a big part of his development. Go ahead, Nathan. Sorry to cut you off, brother.
It's okay. So we cover him at Somerset, and he's having a good year so far, but the problem is I don't see a track for him right now in the majors or AAA. AAA, they got 3 catchers, I think, Carlos Navarez and Duran and some other person. So
loaded. And Navarez and Duran are both killing it. More Duran than anything.
I love Carlos. He was at Somerset for a little bit. Called up. And then Mickey Gasper came back to Somerset. That's another player that I don't know about him, but when it comes to Siegler, I don't see a track for him right now. If I think he needs to be used in a trade bait, into a trade, like a small trade, not a big trade, obviously small trade, just to get rid of him, to give him more playing time, or you might have to release him from the minor leagues. But right now, I don't see where he can fit with the Yankees. I think they wasted a first round pick on him, to be honest, because don't get me wrong, he's a great kid, but the development process for him could take longer than these other catchers that we have.
Yeah, no, I agree with you when it comes to that. Nathan, appreciate you taking time out this morning. We definitely got a link because we got some business we got to talk about, Nathan. I definitely want to key you into what we're doing over here. But guys, make sure you follow my friend Nathan at the NNR Hour, Jersey Sports Net. He does a lot of great stuff when it comes to just covering sports in general, not only the Yankees, but he covers everything. My man Nathan, if there's a ping pong contest out there and if Nathan can make it, he would show up to cover it. But Nathan, appreciate you, my brother. Let these people know where they could catch you out on your social media.
That's funny right there. I like that.
Nathan, you know it's true. You know it's true. You know there was a ping pong contest in your area.
Ping pong.
You were going to cover it.
Pickleball is a new thing too now.
Pickleball,
yeah, pickleball. And shout out to our friend Zook. We're working on the Rangers Ice Brew. It's going to be a hockey show on the channel.
Wow.
Our friend Zook covers pickleball, so make sure you tune in for that. But Nathan, my friend, it's great to have you on. Like always, you know it's an open door policy. Anytime you want to come up here, you know you're more than welcome to. Nathan, just let the people know where they can find you at on Twitter and on Instagram. Go ahead, brother.
First of all, we have to get Todd and you back. I mean, obviously you back on the show, and then we have to get Todd on the show too. So our fans know more about him. Todd.
Yes.
So Todd, let's you have Twitter, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we can schedule something from there, and then
sure.
So our team can reach out to you to come on the show.
Would love it.
Oh yeah, so our fans know more about you because the hard work you've been putting in with Hector.
Yeah, TC has been killing it. I appreciate the work that TC has been contributing.
Appreciate it.
But you can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at the NR_. You can find our content on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, everywhere, pretty much, LinkedIn, and I know the fans have been frustrated that we haven't done a show in a while, but we obviously they can see that we've been busy covering events, going to events, and covering baseball games. So we'll get back on the show grind. We're working on a few guests. Like we can put Todd on the list now too when it comes to guests. But so we're working on, actually right now we're trying to finalize Adam Jones, former Orioles outfielder.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
So we're trying to get him, and then who else? Andre Chaparro to come back on the show. I know you know about that one. And a couple other football players and everything. So our team is working hard on that, and but we'll get back on the show grind. But right now we're just busy going in person, covering events. And like I said, go follow us there. You can find all our content, and not only follow us, but go follow Todd and Hector, man. They're killing it too. We're all killing it. All of us. I always say it's a podcast family, it's a show family. So thank you guys for having me on again. And this was unbelievable talking. Like I said, best thing about our jobs is covering sports and covering these players and covering these Yankees prospects and Yankee fans. Oh, backstage baseball.
Make sure you go back to class, my guy. Shout out to our friend Halal. He says, "Hey, gotta go back to class." Make sure you go back to class, Halal. Shout out to our friend for backstage baseball.
Real quick, I was able to help him out to get credentials for him for Somerset. So he did a great job with us at Somerset the one day when he was covering.
Very nice.
Nice. Don't worry, Nathan. You'll be able to help me to get mine.
I gotta get you guys. I get you on there too. So I'll make the introduction for you when you come there.
Yeah, definitely will. Also, as well, Halal, they have a new show on the channel. On our channel, it's called the Rookie Podcast with Halal and Eddie Kratz and Eddie Kratz. If you guys don't know Eddie, he's one of the young Mets broadcasters. He's on the rise as well. So make sure you tune into that show, the Rookie Podcast. It's live actually tonight at 5 p.m. Make sure you guys tune into that one. Make sure you're in the chat. But Nathan, brother, it's awesome to have you. We'll link up definitely. I'll try to make my way over to Somerset so we can have that conversation. But brother,
great info.
Appreciate you. Thank you so much for tuning. for jumping in, bro.
And Todd, like I said, we'll reach out to you to come on the
Okay.
show. We can talk about your story, how you got to be in the sports journalism world, and
Sure.
we'll get you on there too.
Yeah,
Looking forward to it.
definitely.
Yeah.
Nathan, my brother, appreciate you, Brody.
Let's go Yankees.
Let's
Yes.
go, baby. That's our friend Nathan Ramachandra from the NNR
Great
Hour.
conversation
Make
there.
sure you follow our friend Nathan. A great conversation. Nathan, he's a very pure soul.
Good
I've
people.
met Nathan on Instagram, I want to say back in 2021, and we've always been super cordial. When I first started my first podcast over at For the Love of the Game, Nathan was one of the first guests that we had on the show. So Nathan is an awesome fella. But guys, we appreciate everyone for tuning in. We're sitting at 30 people watching right now. We're at 30 likes. Smack that like button if you haven't smacked that like button. But TC, any wise words for the fans, for the people that are watching before we dip out today, my good friend?
Yes, my wise words are ignore last night. That was just a fluke thing. Tonight's a new game. We're going to come out. The bats are going to continue to hit. Clark Schmidt's going to give us, I'm going to say 6 innings tonight. I'm saying Clark Schmidt's going to go 6.
Okay.
And we're going to take 2 out of 3. Okay? So no panic. No panic.
Nice. Eric Wallace says, wait, are Halal and Frankie the same guy? No, Halal and Frankie is not the same guys. If you guys aren't familiar with my friend Frankie, when I first started the Yankees Morning Brew, Frankie was one of the first people to co-host with me during the summertime. Frankie had to stop co-hosting with me because he went off to college. We gave him a nice send-off to college and stuff like that. But as soon as college is over, Frankie will be back jumping on the panel with me and TC. Guys, appreciate everyone for tuning in. Shout out to the chat, the Yankee Clipper, KC Funtime, my friend Mr. Blue Gold. And one thing I noticed about Blue Gold, he always likes typing in caps. I've never seen Blue Gold type in anything but caps. But shout out to Blue Gold, my friend Sunil, Jacob Petruzzi, Medina Forever. Who else we got up in here? We got Jonathan, who was in the building. Who else?
Jerry Cadile.
Jerry Cadile. Appreciate everybody for tuning
Eric
in.
Wallace.
Emmanuel Morales. Mr. Keith Saunders, thank you everybody for tuning in. Appreciate Eric Estrada for giving us a subscribe and jumping into the chat. Shout out to Eric Estrada. But like always, guys, peace, salutation, and let's go Yankees. Deuces.